same-sex marriage for couples all over the country. The ruling came down around 10 o'clock in one of this year's most highly anticipated cases. Andy Fox is in Virginia Beach, and Andy, right now you're the only person live with the couple whose case helped legalize same-sex marriage in Virginia.
Yeah, that's right. We have Tim Bostic here, and his husband is Tony London. He's actually at a closing. This is their attorney, Tom Shuttleworth. He's at a closing. He's going to join us if the closing finishes. But Tim, first of all, what is your reaction to the Supreme Court? And you really aren't surprised, are you?
Not surprised, but I am very grateful, because I think that for those people who were living in states where marriage equality was not a reality, they now get to have the same joy that we had here in Virginia back in October.
Right, and they were the first to file to get married in Virginia, and they weren't the first to get married because you were married on May 2nd. But this decision with the Supreme Court, Tom Shuttleworth, their attorney, really won't impact Virginia because we already have same-sex marriage here.
Correct, we've had it for a matter of months. What the Supreme Court ruling has done is really changed what's written above the Supreme Court, which is equal justice for all. The all has never been in there, and they can put that in there now. Equal justice for all.
Are you surprised with the decision? It was tight. It was 5-4.
I'm not surprised. You know, the United States has progressed over the last several years to where the Supreme Court's catching up with the people. And it was pretty easy to read the tea leaves to see that the people were in favor of gay rights for marriage.
What do you want to say to counter the dissent that came from the court? You were talking about Justice Scalia.
Well, I have not read the most recent pronouncement by him, so I'm not going to comment on that. What I will say is that opinion provides for a blessing by the Supreme Court that prevents people, your sister, my brother, your mother, your father, your cousin, your firefighter, your hairdresser, the ability to be able to live without being treated like a second-class citizen because they happen to love somebody of the same sex.
And I remember we were just talking about on the Sunday morning show when Joe Biden, the vice president, came back. He said, "It's who you love. It's who you love." Tim Bostic, do you remember a time in history where you felt the momentum changing in your favor?
I think that a lot of this changed after, well, once the Supreme Court ruled in the Windsor decision back in 2013. I mean, I think that was a big marker for the entire country, that this was something that was ready to be done nationwide. So I don't know if there was one particular moment, but one of the things I would say is that there have been organizations and people that have been working on this for 25 years, long before Tony and I showed up on the scene. And so all of that we stood on, and Tom has said this before, we stood on the shoulders of giants in order to make this happen, and there was lots of people who laid the groundwork so that we could be successful.
Okay. Tim Bostic, thank you very much. Tom Shuttleworth, and later on, coming up in our 150 minutes of news, beginning at 4, we will have a sit-down interview with both Tim and Tony and Tom to talk about what this all means, about how America is changing, and that Virginia, you know, has really been ahead of the curve on this, and that even though we have this United States Supreme Court decision, it really won't impact us here because this is a state or commonwealth where same-sex marriage is legal. That's the latest from Virginia Beach. Guys, back to you.
President Barack Obama just addressed the decision from the White House Rose Garden.
Our nation was founded on a bedrock principle that we are all created equal. The project of each generation is to bridge the meaning of those founding words with the realities of changing times. A never-ending quest to ensure those words ring true for every single American. Progress on this journey often comes in small increments. Sometimes 2 steps forward, 1 step back, propelled by the persistent effort of dedicated citizens. And then sometimes there are days like this, when that slow, steady effort is rewarded with justice that arrives like a thunderbolt.
Reaction from both sides is pouring into our newsroom. Here's what Equality Virginia had to say. Finally, the law of the land reflects the beliefs and values held by the American people. America will celebrate this day for a long time to come. The day it was decided that we all have the freedom to marry the person we love in any state we call home. Virginia's Attorney General Mark Herring said, "I want to thank and congratulate all those who have fought for decades for this moment. Your passion and sacrifice has changed history." The Family Foundation expressed its disappointment in this statement. Today, the Supreme Court stripped all Americans of our freedom to debate and decide marriage policy through the democratic process. Now that same-sex unions have been forced on our country, will there be tolerance for those whose faith teaches that marriage is the union of a man and a woman? The big announcement comes just before the start of the annual Pride Fest in Norfolk. We've covered the event before, when thousands of people came together to support equality for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered people in our area. This weekend, we expect there to be live music and a boat festival, along with plenty of local food vendors. Former Wavy TV 10 anchor and current MSNBC anchor Thomas Roberts will be the Grand Marshal. This year's event is free and open to the public. Now, we plan to follow up on local reaction to this decision all day long. For right now, you can find everything that we have so far posted on wavy.com.